Horror mods. They're everywhere nowadays, for any game you can imagine. Something as simple as Minecraft can legit turn terrifying if you just install the right mod pack. Some mods went as far as spanning into their own title. Killing Floor and the Haunted Hell's Reach both star as in Real Tournament 3 mods. Then you have titles like Cry of Fear, Day Hunger, and Afraid of Monsters, using the Source engine as a foundation. But before any of these mods became a household name, there was one particular mod that took the world by storm. Nightmare House. A mod so expertly crafted and polished that it holds a fandom to this day, and caused the then team of ambitious modders to create their own studio, We Create Stuff, who have since gone on to release their first commercial title, In Sound Mind, back in 2021, a project that we'll be covering at some point in the future, and are now set to create Nightmare House Reimagined, a complete remake of the original mod, this time in Unreal Engine 5. Now, Nightmare House, the original mod for Half-Life 2 Episode 2, was a very short but groundbreaking title that redefined horror modding forever, taking hold of everyone who even had a remote interest in the modding scene, completely changing the dev team course forever. But how did it all begin? And where is that team now? Was the mod even good to begin with? With the recent release on Steam and the reimagining on the way, it's the perfect time to take a look back at the granddaddy of all horror mods, Nightmare House.
Wake up. It's time for the real nightmare to begin.
The game's development history spans over a decade, with many versions being available. The very first Nightmare House mod, though, released in 2005, doesn't look like anything we know today. Simply titled Nightmare House, this was the very first attempt of this team at creating a mod. It had a lot less custom content, and it would later be integrated into Nightmare House 2 as a prologue. At the time, most mods didn't really attempt to have a narrative, with most just relying on their level design and already established source models to do the heavy lifting. Nightmare House felt different though. From the get-go, the game goes to great lengths to immerse you, and even though the team was less experienced and lacked resources at the time, they delivered a really good 10 to 15 minute mod, or as it was called back in the day, map pack, which honestly makes sense since it was literally one level, but that one level got people talking though. Did you see the spooky Half-Life 2 mod? Oh, the jump scares made me shiver me timbers, oh! Shut up, man! The first version of Nightmare House is very important as it served as a practice round for the team, going from planning stages to release with a project for the very first time, and that experience would prove to be incredibly useful just a couple years later. In 2007, development on Nightmare House 2 was underway, with We Create Stuff regularly updating their community on their progress, sharing work in progress screenshots, custom assets, and more. In August of that same year, they came out with a little surprise: Nightmare House Remake. Yes, they actually made a remake 2 years after the original map. They were doing remakes before it was cool. We Create Stuff 1, Game Industry 0. This remake is a version of the prologue we now know today, featuring all the updated assets the team was teasing the past few months, and even going as far as introducing a new villain, Emily. No longer a random Half-Life Resistance girl, Emily is simple but effective and serves as a driving point in the story. And, of course, is the poster girl / most iconic thing about the Nightmare House games, so remember her. We're gonna talk about her later. Once again, the gamers were raving about this map pack, saying it's a step up from the original, better paced, more unique scares, and expands on the narrative. And this only fueled We Create Stuff to make sure Nightmare House 2 truly delivered. No! And then quiet. No, the team didn't abandon the game or anything. This ain't Underhell. Oh, Underhell, my beloved. One day I'll talk about you too.
Where the heck are the Underhell?
Instead, they put their heads down and slowly put out blog posts, and even though they were few and far between, they kept showing progress. They kept at it, and then delays. From the updates the team was giving, apparently players got the impression that the game was going to be out before the end of 2010, which, according to We Create Stuff, that was never the plan, as they were targeting Q1 for 2010 all along, which for now was the best release candidate that we had. However, we wouldn't be seeing Nightmare House 2 in the first quarter of that year. In May of 2010, a blog post was posted detailing that the game was almost ready and just around the corner, alongside it, a new teaser. This teaser made the interest for this upcoming mod skyrocket, with people borderline begging to experience this masterpiece. The headline in this blog post also mentions it will be out in May, worst case, June. It's June 2010, you wake up and check the news on Nightmare House 2 and oh look, another delay. God damn it, thanks for the new screenshots, they look great. But if not now, then when can I play this mod? Well, August 23rd, 2010. That's the date. That's the date where Nightmare House 2 finally was available to play. And from then on out, Nightmare House 2 became the go-to version to experience the story until 2024, and included the original game as a prologue section, the remake, not the actual original, with some content removed and some other content added to better fit the team's vision. It gave the players a full narrative with callbacks, Easter eggs, never seen before AI in a source mod, really well done scare sequences. It even won Mod of the Year in 2010 on ModDB, and even though people were shitting on the game's logo for being similar to Uncharted, Nightmare House and its logo was actually around years before Uncharted was even an inkling in Sony's perpetual franchise doom and gloom's ballsack. Wake up gamers, it's time for the real nightmare to begin. We create stuff too, game industry zero. Needless to say, the reception was great, with all of the big YouTubers back in the day making content about it. It also allowed the team a much needed breather after completing such a monumental task, an ambitious project out of what started as a simple mod pack. It was later followed with a big update in 2015, where We Create Stuff updated the source engine and added a few bells and whistles to the game. By this point, the mod had already carved out its own slice of the internet, having its own established fandom and cult following. Then the next few years the team would take a step back and work on something completely new. They ended up creating In Sound Mind, which released in 2021, a fantastic, surreal psychological horror game with incredible music and really well done set pieces.
What a bunch of bullshit.
While this game did well enough, with myself and many others enjoying it, We Create Stuff wasn't quite done with Nightmare House. Now, in 2024, they've hit us with a double whammy, announcing they're working on Nightmare House Reimagined. Yes, you heard that right, a remake of a remake. Once again, ahead of the entire industry, they keep doing it. How do they do it? We Create Stuff 3, Game Industry 0! Oh, and they're also releasing Nightmare House 2 as a standalone, no longer requiring Half-Life 2 Episode 2 to play it. It's on Steam with the title Nightmare House The Original Mod, which is the version we'll be analyzing today. This is now the quintessential version of the game, containing all the remade levels, multiple new bug fixes, achievements, and more. So now the question is, does Nightmare House 2, does Nightmare House The Original Mod hold up 14 years later? Let's find out.
Welcome to Never Lose Hope Hospital.
The game begins with a melody. And after waiting a couple seconds, you hear a car crash before gaining your vision. This little section alone was already a step up above most mods, giving Nightmare House a level of polish unseen when it first released. I will keep pointing out important or impressive features as we go forward. In the bottom left you see the heads up display, now customized to fit the game's ambiance. On the left sits your health, and your flashlight battery level next to it. The battery charges extremely fast in this game, only requiring you to wait a few seconds before using it again. Behind you sits your crashed car, and with no other option, you walk down the wooded path. You find the infamous house, alongside a shack next to it. Going inside said shack, you have the first scare of the game. Timbers were shook.
Give him my timbers!
Sitting on top of a table is the axe. This axe will now be your best friend, being an incredible weapon up close and also allowing you to break locks. What the crowbar is to Half-Life, the axe is to Nightmare House. Yes, it's that iconic. You have two different attacks you can do. Pushing left mouse button you do a light attack, effectively the same as the Half-Life games. But right-clicking allows you to charge a more powerful heavy attack, and this thing is straight up broken, as you'll see later. With the axe in hand, we approach the house to see a trail of blood leading to the front door. We have no idea who this house belongs to, but our fishy meter is off the charts right now. I quickly remind myself that physics are fun before trying to open the front door. Of course it's locked. I've played this mod before, so... That's how you get into the house. Now arriving in the bottom floor, you smash your way to get access to the only door in the room. You arrive at a semi-flooded basement area filled with laundry machines and indestructible boxes for some reason.
I am the chosen one.
Going around the corner up the stairs, you crash yet again to find a dead person.
Hello?
Getting close to this person makes you pick up the pistol, now fully remodeled and redone from its Half-Life counterpart. Smashing the wooden planks on the door, you loop back to the flooded area, and what follows is your certified source physics puzzle trademark.
You grab a box, then you place it down. You grab another box, then you stack it up. You jump on over, all while crouching. Emily is watching, terrifying.
On your right is another barricade. Smashing it reveals a bathroom with a sideways torn human, with the bottom half still sitting on the toilet. As you try to open the door, the top half of the zombie comes back to life and nibbles at your feet. Anyways, you progress deeper into the house, finding handgun ammo and bandages in the closet. Most of the paths are blocked via either indestructible props or locked doors. Smashing the table block in this hallway, we have a nice surprise from above. Ah yes, Mr. Charcoal Man, from Ravenholm circa 2005.
Now hit him with the jerk.
In the next room, you find what appears to be a bedroom, with multiple beds. As you approach the door at the end of the room, the beds go a little kooky. The lights go off, the music swells, and the door opens. As you walk out, you see footsteps leading you somewhere. You follow them. As you do, a girl appears before you before suddenly disappearing just as fast. Uh-oh, trying to be sneaky beaky, eh? Not on my watch. That girl seems like trouble. Let's get the hell out of here. Nightmare House really likes to catch you off guard. In fact, there's an entire system called ASS. Not kidding, it literally says that on your achievement. ASS stands for Auto Scare System. And I think this might be an offshoot of what was used in Underhell when you're in the protagonist's house.
What the fuck? Holy tits!
Unsure on this one though. Back to Nightmare House, with this randomized scare system, you'll experience your flashlight randomly malfunction, hear whispers in your ear, or see things from the edge of your screen for a blink and you miss a jump scare. It was incredible for the time, and it is still incredible now, honestly. After dispatching the zombie, you can look into the TV to see something very peculiar happen. Oh fuck. Maybe she's just saying hi. Nope, she's gone. You walk down the hallway and hear running footsteps around you. This sound effect isn't heard anywhere else in the game to my knowledge, and I honestly can't tell if it's scripted or if it's the ass timing that was just that good.
Something's in my ass.
Nonetheless, we march on. We march down. Falling from platform to platform, you eventually land on the edge of an entryway and open the door to reveal... You try to approach the girl, but as you do, the world slows down. She gets up and runs away from you, leaving bloody footprints on the way. As you chase her, she pulls the Uno reverse card and decides to chase you first. As she flashes before you, you're forced to dispatch some zombos before moving on. Right here, if you time it correctly, you can charge your heavy attack and kill them both in one swing, netting you an achievement. God, that feels good. In the room right after, you find the girl again. She pulls one of those weird Fortnite emote things before vanishing again. On the table sits a revolver, and considering that the original mod, not the remake, that one, she was hung here, I think the implication is that she wanted to unalive herself. The hanging might be a bit too much, so decided to go with the implied shooting instead. Picking up the revolver, now is a good time to mention something I think makes Nightmare House quite unique. Holding right mouse button doesn't make you aim down your sights. Instead, it shows you where you're aiming, aka your crosshairs. This is a bit of a lukewarm feature. Some people like it, some don't. I find myself preferring this option depending on the game and how cluttered the UI is. I find a game like Fear works better with no ADS, but I couldn't imagine playing something like Titanfall 2 without aiming down the sight. I know it's not horror, but you see my point. It works here as it helps the minimalist aesthetic they were going for. Turning around, the girl flashes you again. She loves doing that, this time with physics. The door is open, so let's leave this house once and for all. As you progress, you find more Zimbus, more blood trails, and a shotgun. Which kinda sucks, since you can't right click to fire both barrels, severely nerfing it. Entering a bathroom, you find a charcoal man and some ammo when... Okay, horror is subjective and all, but how is this scary? Seriously? It's like he did one beat of the Harlem Shake and then immediately regretted his decision. In the next hallway you have a well-crafted spook. Alright then, further ahead you find a locked door. Let's go find ourselves a key then. In the adjacent room you kill a couple Zimbus, grab the shotgun ammo inside the crate on the table, and open the closet door to reveal another creepy zombie, which you completely obliterate. Yes, these are called creepers by the way, I'm not making that up, look, it's on the wiki. It has to be true. You find the key and have to physically grab it and bring it to the door. Before you do, you have to kill a couple more zombos before unlocking said door and walking up the stairs. Uh-oh. Phew, false alarm. This room isn't appealing either, but I'll take it over total darkness. Well, that's sad. In here, if you try to approach the mirror, the girl destroys it. No time to look at yourself, John Nightmare House, it's time to continue. No time to look at yourself, John Nightmare House, it's time to escape this house. You arrive at a fireplace with the girl flashing you again. She keeps doing that, it's like she's trying to tell you something. You keep progressing, killing zombie after zombie and jumping hole after hole until you find a ladder leading you up. Perfect. This should be the way out. Bro, what is your deal? At the top you find windows to the outside. If you try looking out, they shut on you. There's something here carefully guiding your every move, adjusting your path whenever you start to go astray. But who? And for what reason? In the next area you find a bunch of ammo, and a trapdoor on the floor. In a square-like room, you know what comes next. God, this shotgun sucks ass. Moving on, the trapdoor is now open. Going down, you find a generously placed medkit. Thank you, Mr. Level Designer. And an empty hallway. Bet you can't guess what happens next. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a double whammy flash and fall combo. This ghost girl is kind of a brat. Opening the next door. Bro, again? And this time you throw zombies at me? What is your problem? I crash my ride? I find zombies in your house? You're a ghost woman trying to kill me? What is going on here? That's it. We're out of here. Killing all your zombie friends on the way out too. Really pour salt on the wood. Oh no, that sounds bad. Let's hope my car works so we can get out of here. Oh, come on.
Same as it always was, isn't it? The mind just keeps sending you back again. It's interesting how you can find comfort in any familiar situation, even a familiar nightmare. Wake up. It's time for the real nightmare to begin.
Welcome back to the land of the living. Looks like we woke up in a padded cell. Everything we just experienced is now in flux, with us no longer being able to tell if it was even real or not, or if we're just a little cuckoo in the head. The door to our cell opens and we step outside. Is this what America's healthcare system looks like? The real game begins now, and for the first few chapters it truly is akin to a survival horror experience, having limited ammo, no regenerating health, and all in a foreboding and claustrophobic hospital environment. The walls are all rusty and falling apart, rebar sticks out in multiple places. Every single room looks like it got hit by a whirlwind, and there's an epidemic going around. The questions are many. So let's find some answers. Going down the very first hallway, the girl from the house runs across before vanishing. This confirms two things. One, the events of the prologue are indeed real, or at least the girl is. And two, the ghost girl has a goal. We don't know what it is, but us being here cannot be a coincidence. Right after, you hear the hospital announcer for the first time.
Security alert. Area under lockdown. Please
The announcer will pop in at several points. We'll talk about her later. In this first warning message, the announcer mentions a lockdown, and after exploring a bit, you come into this room with a table and a few items on top, a radio, and one of them being a flashlight, which you take. Behind you sit a couple camera monitors with only a single one working, alongside a lever to open the gate we saw closed previously.
Security alert rescinded. Lockdown removed.
We flip the lever, but the door back out is locked, and the radio turns on.
Can you hear me? Yes, I'm talking to you. Look, if you want to get out of here, then do exactly as I say.
This is Dr. Romero, one of the key characters of Nightmare House, his name being a reference to the granddaddy of zombie media, George A. Romero, and he also mentions that he will be helping us out, giving us directions on where to go.
Then to the kitchen. You'll find a surprise waiting for you there.
A surprise, you say?
Surprise, motherfucker.
The door is now unlocked, so you proceed through the gate. When the announcer speaks again,
Security alert. Patient leaving cell block without escort. Security and medical staff proceed to the cell detention area immediately.
interesting sentence if you've seen what I've seen. I'll explain later. To the left of that unlocked gate is a barricade, which will need a tool to break through. As you eventually get to the cafeteria, you find a door to the kitchen. You open it when... Well, I guess I'll take that. Lovely blood effects. Alright, got the axe, let's leave. That was fucking metal. After dealing with the chef, you walk back to the cafeteria to find the ghost girl closing doors. And opening doors. She's leading us somewhere. And it seems we have no choice but to follow along. Back at the barricade, you see the gate lock once more, not allowing you to go back. So we smash the wooden planks in our way and proceeds through. Here, Romero contacts you again. He doesn't say much, but he does mention that
I see you found my axe.
I found his axe specifically. Then he tells you to go out and get. A couple rooms later you have found another incredibly difficult physics puzzle. Good old push the boxes to create a path and proceed. Riveting. Entering a vent, the floor eventually collapses and you drop next to an elevator lobby area. Inside the actual office you can break the safety glass and net yourself a pistol.
Are you picking this up? Good.
When Romero was talking to you, he mentions that you and him are all alone in a matter of speaking. Hint hint. And right as he was going to tell you some quote-unquote good news, the connection starts getting scrambled. He unlocks the elevator doors, and this scene right here is straight out of Fear. No, like legit, almost one for one. I know that Fear 1 was a huge inspiration for Nightmare House, and they wear those inspirations proudly. You see, they also both contain extending hallways, blood coming out of the walls, jump scares, this very specific elevator section. And oh, did I mention there's a spooky girl? I'm obviously kidding, but I love seeing these references since I love Fear 1 that much. Entering the elevator, you push the button and load into the next chapter. Here the elevator power goes off, throwing you down and down. Eventually it comes back on, but it skyrockets you upwards. Where you have to break a barricade to proceed yet again. As you do, the elevator falls down behind you, not allowing you to go back. In this little area there's an Easter egg. If you smash the vent above you once the chapter starts and land a well-timed crouch jump just as the elevator is reaching the top at full speed, you find a hidden message saying, "Nice acrobatic skills." Then if you linger for like 2 seconds like I did, you die. Back to the actual playthrough, you eventually come across a door that once you open reveals where you are for the very first time. Never Lose Hope Hospital. A key figure for Nightmare House, almost being a character itself, as it exudes atmosphere and dread. Cool logo too. As the announcer explains the basics of the hospital, you can smash this wooden plank to unlock the door and continue onwards. Soon enough you'll find bodies everywhere, and if you hang about just a few seconds, one of them rises. Going down a couple hallways, you find the entrance to the radiology wing. As you approach, a familiar voice contacts you.
There you are. I'm seeing you on the camera. I only have limited access to the security channels.
Here, Romero mentions he is watching us through the security cameras, but as we'll soon discover, his security cameras are not the same as the hospital's. Proceeding forward, the announcer explains that you can't have cell phones or electronic devices on you, as they could mess with the equipment. Kind of funny, since we're walking around with a flashlight, a gun, and a goddamn survivalist instinct. This hospital never stood a chance. Inside one of the rooms is a skeleton, which does this. That's it. I thought it was funny. You can smash a couple planks here, unlocking a shortcut back to the radiology waiting area. You eventually find a room with an MRI machine, and this little stinger plays. Oh yeah, we're in the right place. This one is broken, however, but there's a fully functioning one right next door. How convenient. So you take a fuse from the fully functioning one, and as you do, the game goes dark. Hey, what was that? Oh, it's Billy. Get why I like the axe so much? It goes through walls. It's insanely OP. Outside, a couple more zombies spawn, so you deal with them. And you finally put the fuse on the broken MRI machine. Now you might be wondering, wouldn't it be easier to just use the MRI machine that actually works? Well, yes, it would, but here's the thing. We don't want to use the MRI machine. We want to destroy it.
So let's blow this pop stand!
As the machine goes off once more, it blows a hole in the wall, allowing you to go further into the hospital. As you go down the main hallway, a nurse walks by, with the entire game entering this dreamlike, slow-motion state. These nurses are also important, but I'll explain them later when they become relevant. For now, think of them as just spooky ghost nurses. The waiting area right after the nurse has a hidden blink and you miss it scare. This is one of the many random ass scares Nightmare House will throw at you. We also saw the flashlight blinking and the glitch effect across the screen. Next to the TV, you can place down an object to get to the vent. I chose a wheelchair, in homage to my favorite wheelchair simulator back then. Going through the vent, you find a skeleton in the distance. I bet you won't guess what will happen here. Whoa, so scary. You drop down to the following room and Romero calls you up.
Maybe I wasn't clear enough when I said that you and I were alone here. What I really should have said was that you and I are the only ones left. Everything here went to hell and people turned into these things.
It's worth noting that he deflects all blame here and continues to act as our friend, as without us he doesn't really see a way out. After progressing a bit, you go open. Hey yo! Is that a fucking field reference, bruv? You see Emily, in the distance, on a wheelchair. As you approach, various flashes shoot through your head, showing Emily a weird ball machine saying another incomprehensible imagery. For now. You then fall into water, sinking into the darkest depths of your mind, when Emily wakes you back up.
You are cute when scared to death.
As you pull yourself back together, you quickly catch a glimpse of Emily before she runs off. She brought you here, and stayed here, watching you until you eventually woke up. Going outside, you see the funniest little guy running by. That is unintentionally hilarious. Right after the announcer starts warning us about some hazards in the next level, finishing with,
Yes, I am talking about you.
oh shit, that's spooky. You can shoot an explosive to unlock a door, and inside you find the Magnum, with Romero contacting you once more.
You're still alive. I thought you died or something. I lost track of you for like 30 minutes.
He mentions he lost track of us, and he knows about the girl and that we can see her. Sus. Then he tells us to go back to the laundry room, as the way to proceed is through a vent that's located there. So off we go. If you take a quick look around the corner here, sure enough, there it is. Ah, charcoal, charcoal, charcoal! At the end of the vent, you drop down into the bathroom area. If you try to open the gate, the power goes down. Going through the now open door, you enter a storage room with a generator, and here, this happens. Bro, that is also ass. Holy shit, double ass in one room? Don't we create stuff you shouldn't have. What follows is a similar puzzle to the MRI machine, where you have to place the fuses in the box in order for the generator to come back on. As you walk back to the gate, you find your very first armored zombie. These are a bit annoying, needing you to hack or shoot at their unarmored parts. Fire, however, works really well against them. You kill the dude and you go back through the gate. What follows is a very tense sequence where your flashlight starts malfunctioning, making you have to use flares to light your way forward. Does every skeleton do that here? What the hell? As you drop down, you can take the flare with you to help you platform your way up and around where you just dropped, going into the maintenance tunnels and then the showers. The ass system tends to proc a lot here, fair warning. You kill a zombie and then the next hallway says, "Hi, going dark." Ah, spooky girl! Following Emily, we again enter this dreamlike slow-mo state. She spooks us, and then lets us go. Ha! Psych! You're about to watch the past in real time, buddy. Here you catch a glimpse of a nurse operating on someone, before the bed shoots upwards, the same way they did back in the house. You go through a brief vent before falling into a... Wait, where are we? Walking forward, you find a door. It doesn't open, so you walk back. Something happened. You go back. Back again. It's getting smaller. Eventually, more flashes, this time a hung woman and Emily on an operating table, before snapping you back to reality. As you continue forward, you see a helicopter nearby. Looks like the help Romero mentioned is here. Now entering the surgery wing, you enter a dark hallway when suddenly... Ooh, that's interesting. Unlike the zombies we've been fighting this whole time, these shadows aren't inherently hostile, they just stay where they are, hurting you if you get too close. They can be interpreted in a couple different ways, one of them being after images of the people that used to be in this hospital, or two, foreshadowing of something that happens much later. Getting close to them allows you to hear a radio static, which could be a reference to the Silent Hill franchise, as if you put your shadow detail at the lowest, you won't be able to see these buggers. So the only way the player will be able to tell where they are is by listening to the static and moving between them. Right after the hallway, you come into another shower area with a door at the end when this happens.
Time to notify you. There is something behind you.
Yo, this announcer kinda based. After dispatching a couple more zombos, you see a SWAT team arrive in the chopper's rear window. In the next hallway, we have this cool little level design segment. You see a shadow on the wall, clearly a person. And then... classic horror move, done perfectly. I actually felt a little watched in this area. It didn't last long due to, Going forward, you find the entrance to storage. A well-placed wheelchair and a vent smash later, you kill a zombie and watch the SWAT team move below you. After the vent shifts and makes you confused, you dropped into darkness, with these horrifying creatures jumping out at you.
Hold your fire. That's not the target. You there, can you hear us? Stay away from the door. We'll bust it open.
Sir, I don't think we should be getting too friendly with the patient. We don't even know why he's still here.
That's exactly why we need him.
This little conversation was interesting as we finally have a little detail as to who we're playing as. Commonly referred to as the patient, his real name is unknown to this day, but his ability to wield multiple firearms with ease leads me to believe he used to have a job as either law enforcement or was in the military at some point, or maybe something a bit more particular. Point being, he's not a nobody. Him being in this hospital and being led around by Emily is not a coincidence either, as our protagonist is probably the only person who can fix whatever's going on in this hospital, which I've kept you in the dark so far, but we'll get into it later. The SWAT team kicks down the door, allowing you to come out, and even though they're skeptical, they're willing to team up with you, and even say they're on a search and destroy mission. Hint hint. The team asks you to lead the way because, well, you're a meat shield to them, and here, Nightmare House goes from survival horror to...
All staff, please evacuate area immediately. This is not a...
The music starts tensing up, and as you go from room to room, you eventually reach an open area, filled with enemies. This scripted section, while simple in nature, is super awesome, and managing to not only have AI companions that actually work well, but revamped enemy AI as well inside of the source engine for a free mod was completely unheard of back in 2010. This house is truly goated. You keep going, shooting every single Zimbo on your way, until... Uh-oh. Someone just vanished. Johnson got grabbed and killed in the vent and drops his UMP, which is garbage. This rinky-dinky piece of garbage would do more damage if it shot peas instead of whatever bullshit these bullets are. Back to real weapons. After killing a few zombies, you escape alongside your teammates when the floor falls below you. The SWAT team says, "Good luck, have fun, buddy," and leave your ass behind. You smash your way into the maintenance shaft, and as you follow the only path available, your flashlight goes out. Ready for another flare section? This one is 3 times as long and 3 times as annoying. The first little bit was fine, as it was a total of like 20 seconds in the dark. This section goes on for a while, man, with you flipping lights behind you as you go, and eventually you power through the dark, and we're out of here. Uh-oh.
Nightmare House 3, taking place on the moon.
Oh. Oh no, 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 no. This is bad.
4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for participating in this fire drill. If if it was a
This announcer is too based for me, man. Oh, you thought the dark was over? Psych! Tricked again! Here's another small area before... Well, hello there, buddy. Right behind the mannequin, Romero contacts you again. He tells you that he needs you to shut down some radio equipment so he can get out of where he is, which is really weird. Help is here. He should be hauling us to where we are, or telling us how to get to him, but instead he's having us run all of these errands. Going a bit further, you come into contact with this... jolly fellow? Oh, there's a bunch of these jolly fellows. How nice! As you go from room to room, the mannequins start hitting you and following you when you aren't looking. A very clear reference to Condemned Criminal Origins. After the lights go out on you, you eventually find a hallway filled with more mannequins, forcing you to smash through them to get through. The door behind them is locked, but upon turning back, they open the way for you. In this room right here, there's a secret Easter egg. If you go around knocking over all of the mannequins, you will open up a portal to a secret level. As you do, the mannequin flashes briefly, showing you the insides of a person. Going through the Easter egg tunnel, you fall into the basement of a house. This level is fairly linear, with you hearing a man repeatedly. As for the mannequin, based on this level's existence, this leads me to believe that the mannequins are used by previously living hospital inhabitants as vessels to interact with the real world. There's a scene that will back my claim later, and I'll explain more then. This segment is pretty spooky, brother. This Easter egg level is whack, man. Pushing forward as the man says a bunch of gibberish and jump scares happen, you find a path through a bunch of rubble, which leads you to literally a jump scare hallway. As you interact with the doors, you have a skeleton shower. Entering the bathrooms, you crouch under the mannequins in order to progress, finally dropping down a pit. Looking through the grates, you see a factory of some kind. As you turn around, you're transported back to the real world. That was neat. Thanks, We Create Stuff. I enjoyed that very much. Now, following the main path, you come into contact with a SWAT member. He doesn't say anything, but points to a door. You go in and flip the lever. He gives you a thumbs up, and as you go to greet him... Now do you get why I think they're vessels, bro? How do you explain that? Right after you find Emily, crouching near the actual SWAT member. Perhaps she was the one that helped it tell you what to do, or she was simply trying to keep its spirit alive for a bit longer as an act of mercy. Whatever the case may be, we're on the right track. Further ahead, I quickly grab a flare and throw it at the armored zombie, netting me a crispy achievement. Fighting a bunch more Zambus, you go up a stairwell, reaching the top floor and breaking down some planks to open the door. This is the comms room, with a screen telling us the status of a transmission. Here, Romero tells us to shut it down somehow. So you find the generator in the corner, and no, you don't shoot it. There you go.
You better get out of there. The whole place is on fire.
Oh yeah, it's fire, alright. This is what I meant when I said Nightmare House turns into action horror midway through, with the game throwing you into multiple set pieces back to back, almost like Fear. You reach the end of the hallway and can do nothing but stare as the flames approach you. But before they do, Emily pushes you away, saving you. And then she throws you into the slow-mo land, where a bunch of corpses fall out of the morgue drawers, and we see what happened to Emily.
Sir, he's waking up. Alpha Squad, this is Chopper. Do you copy?
Holy shit, yes, this is Alpha Squad. We read you loud and clear. We have one MIA, one civilian, aborting mission, requesting evac stat.
After updating the chopper that we need evac, we once again lead the way for our friends. Just make sure to grab your weapons first. In this segment, you go through a room filled with shipping containers. If you stack a bunch of boxes next to a specific container though, you can find an Easter egg of the main developer of the game. Yippee! Oh, and you also get the shotgun early. After opening the door to the loading bay, you move through a dark tunnel, utilizing flares to find crates in the environment to top yourself off on health and ammo. After a little bit, and a bit of banter from your team, it's Zombu time! You clear the area and you find your way to another storage container room. The team suggests you go into a vent in order to unlock the door. And holy crap y'all, there's so many vent segments in this game, it's kinda hilarious. Anyways, you crawl through the vent, you smash the grate, and you suffer a little spook. Unlocking the door to the team, you then keep moving through, finding another locked door when the team says, "How come we can't do that, man?" This section is a roller coaster, with you having to maneuver this maze-like storage rack while fighting creepy zombies and trying not only to survive, but making sure your teammates don't die either. This segment honestly goes on for a bit too long. The concept is cool and all, but I found the darkness super annoying to get through. When you get to a safe spot, you think to yourself, ah, we're good. Oh no, looks like our friend is not doing too good. Probably the influence of something. Hint hint. You and your buddy now go through this short segment to find a way to open the gate. Quickly finding the switch and flipping it, you and Mr. Scaredy Pants go back to your teammate when...
What is he doing?
The guy that was suffering from headaches is now completely losing it. He's about to shoot his friend and team member. We might have to intervene. We're getting ready to shoot when... Oh, oops. Let's try that again. Problem solved. No? Alright, fine, there you go. Moving forward, you have another incredibly dark hallway with Zamzams. You do the usual, shooting and hacking your way through them. And yes, you have to keep using flares here, otherwise you won't be able to see literally jack shit. You fight a few more waves before your friends finally unlock the door. Hey, I understood that reference. Taking a moment to finally take a breather, your friend gets dragged mist-style under the gate, leaving you with the final remaining SWAT member. Action sequence time. Shootin' and tootin'. Breaching doors and going up stairwells. Kickin' ass is now your middle name. In this last stretch to the LZ, you run across this wide room filled with enemies. Easy moment to set up the burning armored zombie achievement if you don't have it yet. Going to the chopper landing zone, we're finally out of here. Uh-oh. Waking back up, the chopper is completely destroyed, and our last friend is not looking too good. He gives us a few hints as to what is going on in this hospital. Something beneath it. Something that was causing this whole shitstorm. And that the signal that's coming from this hospital was spotted at the previous location. The house you were in the prologue. You know, the nightmare one. The SWAT team also mentions that he has nowhere to run. It was Romero all along. He was the one that caused not only the hospital folk to go crazy and or turn into zombies, but also caused the whole commotion in the original house. Who is Emily though? And what's her connection with Romero? I guess we're about to find out. Getting into the elevator, we hear a familiar voice.
That man said, I am not a murderer. I have never intentionally killed anyone, and I don't plan on starting tonight. Or I want to give you the chance to decide. In just a moment, this elevator is going to stop on the main level, directly next to the main entrance to the hospital. If you want to spare yourself, just leave me in this hospital alone. If you're bound and determined to find and kill me though, just keep heading down the elevator. I won't stop you from coming. Just be warned, I will be forced to defend myself.
Romero is giving us a choice. We either walk out of the hospital right now, live another day, or we go down to meet him, in which case he will be forced to defend himself. Choice time. And instead of going outside, you can hop over the counter and find the secret hallway with another door. Hey, who is that?
I do not wish for you to see me like this. Please leave now.
Throughout the game, the announcer starts very normal, with what seems to be automated messages, the kind you'd hear at any hospital. However, at multiple points the announcer addresses you directly, and even helps you out in the shower area of the game. This is theorized to be one of the many apparitions we see in the game, similar to Emily or the nurses, beings that are either ethereal or semi-ethereal in this case, and have somehow retained some sort of their personality and will after death. The announcer retains somewhat of a good nature, given the help and warnings she provides the player throughout the game. Now, say you're shaken by the announcer revelation and you think to yourself, you know what, I'm a peace out.
We hope you had a pleasant and an enjoyable stay. Don't go out.
Don't go out? Nah-uh. Bye, Felicia. You open your eyes but you can't move. Your head is pinned against something. You can only look left and right. And as you do, Emily approaches and kills you. You went back on your word, progressing so far and getting so close to Romero, only to turn your back on everything. guaranteeing Emily's wrath. If you look at the hospital sign outside, you'll notice the word lose was removed, making it say Never Hope Hospital. Really cool detail. Oh snap, that was weird. Anyways, let's go get Romero. As the elevator goes down, the announcer has a different line for you.
This area is restricted to senior level staff only. If you do not have the proper authorization, please leave immediately. It's for your own good.
Warning you about the dangers you're about to face. Well, we go out, we die, so Romero it is. You open the door that leads to a control room filled with TVs, cameras, all across the hospital. He's been sleeping here for months, under the hospital conducting his foul experiments, hoping no one would find him. If you take a moment to read over his electronic journal, you're gonna find some answers, including that Romero and Emily were at one point married. The conditions of their marriage is unknown. Romero was a workaholic, working for an unknown company at the time. His profession involved conducting experiments that affected the dead, from possession to mind trickery and even submission. Emily was against his work, and eventually he used his own wife as an experiment, killing her in the process. What Romero didn't expect was for Emily's spirit to live on. Afraid for his own life, he took shelter in the hospital, where he stayed for several months to continue his experiments and find a way to protect himself from Emily as she kept haunting him the entire time, wanting revenge. This protection came in the form of what is called the core, as we see scribbles about it on the wall. It was also one of the many ink blob flashes we saw, confirming that those hallucinations were Emily trying to talk to us this entire time. So let's go help our girl get revenge. Going even further down, you reach what is clearly a boss arena as you see the core for the first time. As you approach, a shield is raised and Romero speaks.
This is the core, my life's long work. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's important to me, and I'll go as far as needed.
No turning back now. It's boss battle time, and this is a definite highlight of the entire mod, with Romero throwing waves of zombies and periodically throwing you into the depths of your own mind. The way to fight this thing is to destroy the wooden beams supporting each leg of the core, with each pillar destroyed causing you to move on to the next phase of the fight. The first time Romero throws you into no plan, you see a swarm of zombies coming towards you, but... Hey girl, thanks for the psychic help. Yo, was that Romero right there? Yes. Yes, it was. The patient, having survived the core's experiments due to Emily's influence and still stuck in isolation, became a target of Romero, fearing for his life. He tried to kill our protagonist with the same axe we would later end up getting as a weapon. Unable to kill the patient, he fled to the cafeteria to grab food supplies, where he was ambushed by the zombie chef, where he used his axe to kill him and escape. This is confirmed by Romero telling us to go to the cafeteria to get armed, and then... Great detail here. Back to the core, Romero is flipping out. He has no idea how Emily is helping you, but you don't care. This core is going down. Second support beam down, and it's Lehead time. This time you're put into the hospital's hallway. Interacting with doors makes them disappear, forcing you to go down a set path. Entering the fear hallway, you start having flashes. Those damn mannequins again. After going back and forth in the hallway, the floor collapses and you get submerged. Was Emily helping you out? As you come back to the core yet again, Romero confirms that you crashed your car in front of their house, and after exploring it, you went insane due to Emily's influence, leading you to go to Never Lose Hospital, where you stayed in isolation for months, until Emily woke you up when the time was right. As you destroy the third pillar, you get thrown back into the original house, with way too many zombies chasing you. As you try to get to your car, Emily spawns and kills the zombies using her powers. My car! The ambulance arriving on the scene, and an Inkblot style picture showing us that's how we got put into solitary. Let's end this. Smashing the last wooden plank, the core finally falls.
Well, what do you know? It's still operative. I guess I won. Oh shit! Emily, my love, it worked. You're back. I'm sorry for everything that's happened. I'm sorry for everything I had to... No! No! Ah! Emily, listen.
How are you talking right now?
A big
GG. That's Nightmare House. I won't lie to you when I say that this mod kinda shaped my childhood in a way that is indescribable. 14-year-old me never knew the heights of what a quote-unquote simple Half-Life 2 mod could accomplish, and my socks were rocketed to space. As a game, there's very little for me to complain about. I found some of the guns very useless, like the UMP or the base pistol. Finding the other weapons were filling all my combat needs already. I also found the pacing to be a bit wonky at times, with the first half of the mod being very survival horror, and the second half is more 50-50 between survival and action horror, which I'm perfectly okay with. What I'm not okay with is the unnecessary number of events, the lack of combat scenarios other than wave spawn, kill to proceed, and lack of enemy variety in general, with there being only 2 zombie types. This was a title that was created with love and a ton of passion. The amount of references to other games, titles, and general fun dev stuff they've done here is really cool, while also leaving a lot of room for interpretation and series like the mannequins, the nurses, the announcer, and whatever happens to Emily next. We Create Stuff won't be touching a sequel to this narrative anytime soon, which means that what we can expect now is a reimagining of what we just experienced. So, now what? Well, now we're all patiently waiting on any news about Nightmare House Reimagined, which is set to be a full-blown remake of Nightmare House in the Unreal Engine. From the trailer, we can see some of the moments recreated already, like the bed mattress jumping out or the return of the mannequin. But it also looks like you'll be able to throw your axe in this one, and also will likely feature some sort of sleep mechanic where you communicate with Emily. This harkens back to Underhell, it's all connected, where you could remove a dream catcher from above your bed, allowing you to explore your dreams. Here lots of lore would be revealed with distinct puzzles in each dream. I wonder if We Create Stuff is taking the premise for that mechanic and doing something completely new, or something similar but more Nightmare House inspired. Something to note from the trailers that they showed very little or none at all of Never Lose Hope Hospital, which means that either this will be a duology with Nightmare House Reimagined being a complete overhaul of the original mod that was only in the house, leaving room for a sequel later, or they're just being sly as hell and keeping it as a surprise for later. Nightmare House isn't just a mod. It's a testament to what a small group of passionate creators can achieve. From humble beginnings in the Source engine to becoming a cornerstone of indie horror, this game has inspired countless fans and developers alike. It's a reminder that some of the best stories in gaming don't come from billion-dollar studios, but from the relentless creativity of a few dedicated individuals. And now, with the reimagining on the horizon, we're standing on the edge of a new chapter for Nightmare House, whether you're a veteran of the original or someone discovering it for the first time. There's no better occasion than right now to dive into this little slice of gaming history. So fire up Steam, grab Nightmare House the original mod, and experience what started it all. Because the scariest thing isn't the jump scares or the zombies, it's missing out on a piece of gaming legend. Hope you all enjoyed this essay into one of my favorite mods of all time. My name's Fire, and I shall see you next time.